All right, we are live with breaking news that Supreme Leader of Iran, Khamenei, is dead. Guys, what is going on here? I just posted our stream. Let's get this published. What a crazy last 12 hours, 14 hours it's been.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
we are
know.
joined with
What else takes over? I'm not having the best of time in the order books tonight, so
No, it's been brutal. Yeah, we're joined with Ivan, Scottalicious, Aaron. You are one of the creators of Calynomics. Happy to have all you guys here. Ivan and Scott and I are just traders trying to make sense of what's going on. But it's been a crazy last 14 hours and profits for some and losses for at least half of us. And
mhm.
yeah, it's been wild. So where should we start? I think Khamenei being out is the first most important topic of the day. So who should we begin with? Ivan, what was your reaction for the last while?
Yeah, it's pretty much confirmed now. Let me just check. What's the price? I don't know. Can you open the order book
Yeah,
for
yeah.
February? I think February is the best one. So 94. I think so in terms of rules, I think this is
Yep.
probably going to get proposed pretty soon, and then it's going to go yes because there is already a credible consensus. So, in my opinion, as far as that goes, it doesn't really matter what the Iranians say. Obviously, this will now go through the motions, so this will get disputed and disputed again. So probably it's going to resolve in however long it takes. You know this better than I do. So probably a week or
Yeah.
10 days.
But
I don't
over
know.
the last 12 hours, I mean, there was
Yeah,
conflicting reports
one
from
thing that I can add here, something, well, it's not alpha anymore, but post alpha. When I woke up today in the morning, first thing I did, as always, was check my portfolio. I saw it's down a lot, so I was like, ah, shit. It happened, didn't it? But we'll
yeah.
talk about that later. And then I looked at not immediately, but pretty quickly at Khamenei, and I saw there was like a spike before I actually woke up. It spiked to 30, and then it went down to like the teens. It was around 10, and I
Yeah.
had a little bit of money left from the 27th. No, because they struck after midnight U.S. time. So just with that bit of money, I bought yes because the hit by Israel was already confirmed. And I thought it was weird that it was trading at 10 because there was also a tweet. I can't find it now anymore, but there was a tweet saying, or maybe it was in the comment section, but there was definitely a tweet saying that Israel had taken out several high-level leaders
Yep.
and that people will be surprised by the names. And I saw that after I bought, and I figured strange that this is trading at 10. And it was also, I think, already confirmed that they hit his compound. And the price didn't make sense. It actually dipped a little bit more after that to like 5. And then Israel, I think that was the first
At
time when
8
they
a.m.
broke.
Well,
Yeah. The first time when they broke like a headline, we presume Khamenei is dead, but we don't know for sure yet. And that's when it pumped. It never really returned. I thought the market was they're very inefficient there. And then after that, I don't know, I can't tell. Unfortunately, I sold almost everything at 50 because I thought it was 50-50. It's pretty stupid, probably, but yeah, did more stupid stuff. So
wow. Aaron, you have Calcinomics, and I'll put up your site because you have a risk dashboard for Khamenei out. Didn't get to be used too much because it's already happened. But what are we looking at here?
Yeah.
So tell me what.
Yeah, I was hoping we could display more of this, but yeah, if you scroll down a little bit, so most of those are just showing 100% because I was looking at each of the kind of incremental strike markets.
Yeah.
And then go down a little bit further to like the order books. And if you select the community out a little higher here.
Sure, here.
Yeah, right around there. So I think the filter is actually just a tad higher.
There we go. Khamenei out by.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so these you can kind of like dynamically see how the order books are shifting. So like, we're looking at 95 to 97% across these 3 strike dates. And then you can also adjust like what the spread is that we're looking at to see like where kind of the skew in the order book is. So you can go from like 1 cent to 20 cent in different increments. And then there's all the live trades for these three markets. Then you can also kind of edit the minimum size there. So I was kind of hoping to have this go on a little bit longer, but we'll have to kind of apply it to other geopolitical markets. But it's like been a fun tool to build out.
Very cool. So this is what I'm seeing is like people want to buy yes more than they want to buy no. Like there's more bids on yes, right? This is what this is showing.
In that 1 cent spread, correct? Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, this is interesting. I mean, it's been a crazy time, and everything's wrapping up now, but I don't think it's wrapping up. So what's supposed to happen next? Is it a 4-day war? Was that the last news piece I saw? I don't know, Scott, how much are you following what's going on?
I saw it. I saw the attack late last night, slept maybe 5 hours, woke up crazy early because I couldn't help it, even though I wanted to sleep like 8 hours, but no luck there. So I bought some. I was skeptical that they would get him in the first strike. So no, for the 28th was trading around 60 this morning for no on Khamenei out by the end of the day. I bought some, flipped it at 74 actually, from 60, rode 60 to 74, which was really nice. Flipped, sold it, bought some more at 70, and then sold that again at 74. And then a minute or two later, Polymarket did a clarification, and it went to 50 cents because the clarification was, we're not going to resolve this until we know for sure, in essence, we're not going to resolve this until we know for sure he's dead. So I guess the moral of the story is, in these risky ass markets, take your profits when you make them. Don't stick around to really find out if they're going to get him or not.
But this clarification was favorable for yes, right? This clarification?
It was favorable for yes, yeah. And being that I was on no, if I hadn't gotten out, I would have been totally screwed 2 minutes later, and then I probably would have held it, and I probably would have lost everything. My initial logic for the no, which looks like it's gonna looks like I would have been wrong, but the initial logic for the no was that he might pull a Saddam or a Gaddafi and just disappear into nowhere. Has anybody confirmed? Is it just the Israelis that are confirming he's dead? Somebody else.
Sorry, I saw a tweet, spectator index, but they always just quote someone else. A photo of Khamenei has been shown to Trump. So I guess we'll probably soon hear it on Truth Social. Yeah.
So did they have how would they get a photo? But no like crazy Delta Force Maduro type stuff, right?
One other one that I saw is some Israeli account. Apparently they showed it to, I don't know, I'll try to find it and I send it to you. They showed it to Bibi, and his body was full with bullets. And what I think, this is just my hypothesis. What I think happened is Israel has very deep penetration of the Iranian elite. And probably they had either someone like in his very, very small circle, because I was researching this. I started researching it quite extensively, but I didn't get to write my thesis. Like, he has a circle of maybe like 10 people. And even in the last few days, apparently, which is strange though that they got him at his compound, because I read like he was, people were getting to him blindfolded, so they don't know where he is. But apparently he was just at his compound. But anyway, I imagine they have like human intelligence, and they have people on the ground, and they are confirming, whatever the Iranians are doing, and they just DM it to the Israelis, and the Israelis DM it to Trump, and Trump will let us know on Truth Social very soon, I guess.
It's possible, but I wouldn't bond it. Let's just say that's a bond I'm not gonna touch.
Well, the thing is here, so
I think it's good. But why wouldn't you?
I mean, the intelligence agencies are they United States and Israel want to foment a regime change out there, so there's incentive for them to exaggerate about Khamenei's demise, even though what you're saying is highly plausible. I think that it's accurately at 96, it's not, I don't think it's a 99.9 right now. I mean, I haven't seen the body myself, and there's incentive to lie and to exaggerate. So I wouldn't mess with it as a bond.
But I mean, would you bond it if Trump goes on True Social within the next? I don't think it's going to take him an hour. I'm not sure if he's going to show us a photo. He showed us a photo of Maduro pretty quickly, but if he goes on True Social and then someone proposes at that point, because I imagine what's going to happen.
Personally, I wouldn't. I mean, I would say if that were to happen, it would probably go to 98, 99, right? And then it would probably be fairly valued. So what's the point of bonding something that's fairly valued?
Yeah.
I mean, someone in the comments asked about the Kalshi market, and that's what I wanted to look at next, because Kalshi rules were made in such a way that it was, if Khamenei died, which it looks like that's what happened, the market would not resolve to yes. And I know, Ivan, last week on our stream, we had talked about how the most likely way that Trump finishes this attack is by Khamenei dying, right? Like that's his deliverable, you'd said. So the market being the Kalshi market having already been 5 cents lower than Polymarket, I had said this is the bet of the century. It might lose, but if Khamenei dies, this market will just resolve to the same price you bought in at, right? So it felt like a free roll, and now Kalshi has clarified that it will resolve to the traded price before death. And their clarification, I think they re-clarified, Aaron, I don't know if you followed this, but they re-clarified their clarification because of ambiguity, grammatic ambiguity, because I think the way it's going to resolve is if he is confirmed dead, it resolves to the price when he actually died, not when it was reported. So if it's reported and the price is 10 cents or the 90 cents for him to die, it'll still resolve to 30 for yes, because that was the price at 1:30 a.m. when this strike happened. So I don't know if you guys are on the Kalshi market, but this one was one that was crazy. And like to my answer to Baz here is it will resolve to the last traded price, which I believe for April 1st was 70 cents for no. Yeah, 39. I think it's 70 cents for no. And for July, it was 55. So no still here, if it's confirmed that he died, is a good bet.
So what does the market look like over the past few hours when there's like a high probability of his death actually occurring? Because it does look like there's like a little spike in the short term back.
Yep. So overnight, it hit a high of 65 cents. Oh, this was actually just 3 hours ago at noon. It hit a high of 65 cents, the March 31st market. So it went up to 65 cents. And then I guess Kalshi clarifies and I remember they paused the market at noon. They clarify, and then the price goes back up to 60 cents for no, because that was around the last traded price before 1:30. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this market is going to end up resolving favorable for no, so above 50 cents. I don't know exactly where it was when the strike happened, and I guess they will confirm that, like whenever Trump goes on the TV and does the speech about how they killed Khamenei, he'll say a time possibly, and that's where Kalshi will resolve. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be above 50% for both of these. And for April 1st, I see 137, it was 68%. So I think this would resolve around 68%, 65. Yeah, so there are bids here, knowing that it's not going to resolve higher than this, that people are willing to sell it here, right? This is a crazy market, and that's the way I think
Can
it's going
someone
to resolve.
explain? Sorry, but can someone explain to me why on because I noticed that too, but I don't trade these markets on Kalshi. Why on Kalshi they have so there's always a premium. There was also a Maduro premium, and now on Khamenei there was a premium, and I don't know who the next dictator is going to be. I guess they're out of non-nuke dictators now to take out, but there's always a premium on the guy on yes, so you can buy yes cheaper on Poly with more favorable rules than you can do it on Kalshi. So it's I don't understand that. Like, why is that?
Well, if it's going to resolve at $1 on Polymarket, but it resolves at a lower dollar amount if Khamenei is dead or if Maduro is dead. Like I think that kind of explains the difference. And like I was pretty heavy no on the
But this
Maduro
was the
side
opposite.
because
Sorry to interrupt. This
Yeah,
was
but
the
that's the
opposite.
opposite.
Yes was higher on
okay.
Kalshi when no should have been higher.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, this is an
Yeah.
incredible
Oh,
deal. The last month and a half,
oh,
And
and
I,
we
even
know
the
that
okay,
his
I agree.
Euro as well makes no sense to me. Like there are more degens on Kalshi. You see it in the shelter market. I mean, they might still be right. You know, we never know. They better not be, because then I'm going to be bankrupt. But it's the same thing. There are more degens on Kalshi than on Polymarket. And like with these rules, to me, it only made sense. Like if you want to play on Kalshi, you play no or nothing,
Yeah,
or like go through
exactly.
the motions to deposit Polymarket.
It's been 5 to 6 cents off on all of these strikes for the last month, and there was a prediction market event a couple of days ago, and I was shilling people, hey, he might be out of Khamenei might be out, he might die, but that means it's a good trade on Kalshi because of the rules mismatch and because that's the most likely way he was going to die, right? So I'm free rolling the market, and if you arb between Kalshi and Poly, you would have gotten not only the arb of 4 cents, but a double win basically, because now you're going to resolve yes here, and just like Cardi B, it's going to resolve 26 cents for yes on Kalshi, right? Um, and I don't think it's over yet. Obviously, I think now you need to start thinking about what was the last traded price. So if you know that 130 or 137 was the price, then and that was 68 cents, then basically you buying no here is betting that he died at, what is it, 5 out of 6 out of 6.8. Isn't that like 85 cents you're getting on no now? Basically betting that he died. It's like a math game now. Yeah. Okay. So that is Khamenei dead. Do we have other pieces of info, other markets that are related to Khamenei out? I think one that someone had mentioned in TMB was forcibly removed, because this one is still trading. Forcibly removes Khamenei from power, the US. Uh, Ivan, I don't know if you're following this, or Scott, do you have any insights? Or Aaron as well?
I have some other corollary markets that I'm looking
Yeah, go
at,
ahead.
but I don't have it this one.
What's the other markets?
Do you want to know about the other one?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, so Pahlavi, the Shah's son, I don't remember if it's his son or grandson, but the Pahlavi guy who thinks he's going to be Shah all of a sudden swooping into Iran by the end of March, I'm highly skeptical that that's going to happen, especially since he's probably used to a fairly safe life of luxury in the West. I don't see him hopping into a war zone.
What's the name of the
So
market?
what I had been what's that trading at right now? Let's see. Pahlavi. Will Pahlavi enter Iran by
Okay,
February
sure.
28th?
Got it.
March 31st. Yeah. So it's been hovering between like 87 to 93 all morning. And I thought there would be a bigger jump in the price of yes when it's confirmed that Khamenei is dead, but it looks like that big jump didn't happen. But I think for me, that's a solid 10% in a month. I'll take that all day long. I don't think he's going to show up in a war zone and proclaim himself to be leader of Iran.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Ivan, I know we've been talking about these enters and exits. Like Khamenei will never leave Iran. That was a market we liked. Enter Iran, Pahlavi. What do you think?
Yeah, the Khamenei. That's now that you mentioned it, I just looked it up. It's a 2 cents. Is going to,
There
or
you
rather,
go.
I mean, yes, it is a 2. So
You didn't have to
no
wait
going
till the end of
on.
the
Yeah,
year.
good. So he's leaving, but he's only leaving to hell, not to another
Yeah.
country. The other one, yeah, I agree. Probably the more interesting market there are the long-term ones.
Mhm.
I have no strong opinion on those yet. Haven't really researched them, but yeah, short term. If you want to do it for what 1 month, 10 cents, it's always like what's a better deal, this one or or Kevin. Not even sure about Kevin Walsh, but Judy Shelton. So you always have to like deduct 5 cents of every bond and think about it.
Opportunity costs. Yep.
Yeah, Scott. So you're the
exactly.
top holder here, right? So I guess this is this one of your bigger positions right now? I guess I can look at your account.
It's one of my bigger positions. I did really well on it during the last Iran war. I think I made like 15% on it in a very short period last time around. I have a lot of Iranian friends who are highly skeptical as well. And, that's part of my technique is I reach out to anybody from the region and always ask them. But for this one, I didn't even need to reach out to anybody just from having followed this whole thing. But, I could still be wrong. I mean, if the regime, it's always, good to analyze what the risk is. And I guess if the regime topples in 2 weeks and, Trump is more forceful than others, and you could say the same thing about Bibi. And if they, regime topples in 2 weeks and they send, Pahlavi there to do a speech or something, and they would probably have to do like a 100-mile perimeter of sharpshooters to make sure the guy doesn't get assassinated. So I put the odds of that happening as maybe like 1 in 1,000. So I'm pretty comfy and cozy on this bet, but it's not impossible. So if it happens, don't come hunt me down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, 0.1 cent spread, but not the most liquidity, but it looks like you got yourself a decent chunk of the open interest. Very interesting.
Yes, sir.
Scott, what kind of markets are you tracking now? I know poor Calynomics needs to get the next geopolitical event, and also you had a great article today that I'd like to spotlight as well. But this article was talking just about what the ethics of these types of markets, because it's been a dispute I know in TMB we've been talking about it and arguing about these types of markets, and with the insider news of 3 weeks ago with the Israeli military people that were insider trading it, and you mentioned this here. So do you want to give us a rundown of what was going on there?
Yeah, so this has kind of been in the back of my head for a little while, and figured this morning was a good time to kind of let it out. But just kind of looking at like what are the pros and cons of actually having war markets? So I think a lot of people are like either in one camp where it's like, let's have markets on frickin' everything, or it's like, this is like evil to bet on bombs being dropped on countries and such. So like kind of taking the middle ground and saying it's like a nuanced world where like, one, it's like it's very valuable to have this information, both from like a intelligence point of view, but also from like just an individual that's like thinking about, what are the actual odds that I'm going to have a strike or something like that. And that's just like a better way to look at data, as opposed to like looking at your X feed or looking at like the most recent like news articles. But then like war markets also, like we don't want to necessarily have them, one, be like prone to manipulation. So we don't want soldiers or people that are at war to kind of change their behavior necessarily. And then we also don't want to like give up intelligence. So like in the Israel striking Iran example, it's like Iran could have kind of known that the attack was coming because there was kind of, a lot of those bets from like unknown wallets. So yeah, kind of just getting at like both sides, but as less of a trader and more as like someone that like views this from like a news angle, I am kind of curious your guys' take, how you see war markets.
Yeah, Ivan, I know you've probably talked about it as well in some of your articles, just insider trading stuff, but what do you think?
I mean, insider trading on this one is a feature, not a bug, is it? I don't know. I haven't read the article yet, so I can't comment on that. With these ones, I mean, there was enough liquidity on the other side, right? So you can't really complain about the insider trading there. And in any way, I think this is if you have insider trading on such a big market, where the market is willing to absorb the other side, and where it's such a consequential question, I guess that's fine by me, really.
Like the value of war markets is a positive to you. I know, because we've when
you mean, okay, sorry,
some of my family members, they say like, oh, betting on war is a horrible thing. Like, don't be doing this.
Okay.
This is not a moral thing to do. But then the other side, I know Tina Dome had a tweet a couple months ago where he said that betting on this is very valuable because we need the information, right? I realize this sensitive topic, prediction markets are immensely valuable to society as a source of news, right? So these are important markets to seek the truth, you know?
For geopolitics, yes. Like it allows people who are smart but maybe not really employed in the field to just add like their little piece of information to the market, and make the market incrementally more efficient, and like add a little bit of information. So yeah, like for these ones, if it's the big picture questions, yeah, I think it's valuable. If it's something the problem for me arises really when it's like too small, when there's something, I don't know how to describe it, but like when the question isn't really that consequential, that's where the insider trading also becomes a problem, because then it doesn't really affect so many people, but the people who have this insider information, they can benefit from it. So
You mean where the principals could actually influence the results, where certain actors could actually, in smaller circumstances? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I'm trying to think of a good example. I mean, it's usually so like this, like whether the US will attack Iran, this is a big consequential question that affects sort of the entire world, right? But whether Israel will strike Lebanon on, I don't know, March 5th, that's a rather small question. And then if we go like down a level even lower, which now I can't think of an example, at least in geopolitics, I can't think of one, but there are. I don't know if Marco Rubio goes to Israel, for example. That's not really like. I mean, okay, in this context, it's maybe important because this is like a big crisis, right? But if it's a smaller one, I don't know if I don't know. Will the German Chancellor visit Trump next week? It's rather irrelevant, right? But at least you enable people to grift off that and to insider trade it, but you don't really add any sort of valuable information. So I think
Well, if you're on the Lebanon example, if you're a Lebanese civilian wondering whether you should evacuate, let's say you're in southern Lebanon or something, or whether you're, in Tehran this morning and you're thinking about, I mean, the hypothetical use case for Polymarkets could be to protect civilians, if in some of these circumstances, I don't know.
But you have to think of who is the audience. I mean, the audience is going to be the Polymarket. So Polymarket now is B2C, but actually the audience should be more B2B. So Polymarket can price geopolitical risk, but it's not like for this kind of question. Like if I'm a civilian, let's say, for example, here, take a question, like it's not up yet. Will Iran strike Dubai on XXXXX date, right? Because today they've been droning downtown Dubai. So there you could argue, I could take your logic and say, okay, if I'm in Dubai now, I can check the Polymarket and see, well, are they going to strike me today or not? But I mean, is that really like a useful market? I mean, you have public infrastructure for that. You don't really need to push that to the private market, and especially not in this kind of gamified way where you can have a lot of unintended consequences. So with that, I'm rather skeptical.
I'm with you on. I think Polymarket should do a clause where everybody gets refunded if there's an assassination, because on some of the, like the Pope, I mean, usually people aren't, even though someone tried once, but usually people aren't going to try to assassinate the Pope, right? But when these politicians, the markets where will this politician be out of office? In my mind, and it's been discussed on a lot of the different discords that I'm a member of, there ought to, I don't know why they don't do it, there ought to be a clause saying, okay, this goes to, everybody gets paid back if this is resolved via assassination for obvious reasons, right? Or is that too much regulation? What do you guys think?
When you say everyone gets paid back, do you mean like at their entry price, or how would that be resolved?
I haven't gotten that detailed into it, technical into it. Just have some alternate resolution mechanism whereby you don't make money from assassinating someone.
Well, that was the Kalshi way
Shouldn't
of
be
doing
that.
it. So for Charlie Kirk, the market on him to be president in 2028, that was at like what, 5%, and it went to zero when he was assassinated. But Kalshi resolved it at 5%, and that was a case where it was easy to resolve on that last traded price because it was a clear situation. And that's what they tried to do with this Khamenei market, where it will not resolve, yes, if he dies. And that was the reason that this was such a good buy, because people were unaware that this was the most likely way to be out as supreme leader, right? So it's a bit messy when you try to resolve a market like this, when the outcome is ambiguous for 15 hours now, right? We still don't know exactly what's happening.
Interesting. And into what Ivan was saying about gamification and all that, and benefit versus cost to society of these prediction markets, I kind of see it like prostitution. Okay, so if it's legal, you can try to it's out in the open. You can sort of see who's doing it. People are going to be more careless. And if someone's doing it in a really, really bad way and trading on insider information, they're probably more likely to get caught. Whereas if people are doing this out on the dark web and, all the traffic is so there's that example. I don't know.
Sure. I like that. That's fine with me. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit tough what's going on here, and I don't think we have the answers. But also these lawmakers, I mean, Aaron, you're following the stuff going on with the lawmakers who are saying let's ban prediction markets, and then it's mostly about this Polymarket stuff where they have direct war markets and insider, they welcome insider trading and insider information, whereas Kalshi's trying to distance themselves. I wonder if you like your experience partnering with Kalshi and with Polymarket, is there different topics that you're supposed to talk about and not talk about?
I guess more so from the Kelshi side, I do think it's interesting, like just how much they're trying to distinguish themselves. Like they've really been like harping on, we don't do war markets and we don't do assassination markets, and we don't allow insider trading. So that's kind of been what they're running with to some degree. And I do think that like a large part of their moat in the US is the regulated side. But at the same time, it's like, and I wrote about this a little, like these markets to some degree still are proxies for war markets. It's like, it's not like a direct one-to-one like Polymarket necessarily, but yeah, like what we're looking at right now, like this is still getting to the same thing. It's just you're pricing in his death at like a different rate based on what the resolution is. So I think Polymarket is just kind of doing whatever to some extent, and because they kind of have the decentralized like upside. But
yeah, it's tough. Let me read some of these comments here. Thoughts on US-Iran nuclear deal market on Kalshi before April. What is going on with the nuclear deal now? Do we have an idea on where these markets will head? Is it more or less likely than it was? I don't even know. I guess okay, it went down and back up. Yeah, Ivan, what's going on with nuclear deal? What's the path?
Yes, I was thinking about this today. I discussed it with some people. Now that he's dead, it's 50-50. It could happen or it could not happen, right? It goes either yes or no. It depends on whether whether he was, we'll find out. I'm curious to know whether he was sort of given up by some of the people in the elites or not. Because it's like this was very telegraphed. Like this entire war. That's why it was so stupid to have lost on no. Like the entire war, and also that they were going after him. So I'm a little bit surprised that Israel took him out so easily.
By the way, guys, March is down to 92 now, so we're not
Yeah,
in the
so this was another
96,
comment from
97.
Delta One. From Delta One, Iran's Tasnim and Mehr news agencies report Khamenei is steadfast and firm in commanding the field. Let's see what's going on here. No, which Delta One is it? What's his name? Okay, let's just look up steadfast and firm. Let's see what's going on here.
87.
Breaking
This
Iran
will get
state
into-
media reports Khamenei is steadfast and firm in commanding the field. Oh God, man. Uh-oh.
This is
What
one
are
of
we
those markets.
doing?
Remember what I was trying to explain to you one time with like this insider. This is not insider, but one of the markets which is confirmed. And then now we get the FUD bit. This is like heaven wars. Prepare
Told
yourselves.
you guys not to bond it.
Huh?
Yeah,
I said,
not
told
to
you
bond
guys
it.
not to bond it.
That's true. Okay,
There was-
so
there was-
who's buying? Okay, so
But there was
Lance
a
sold
quote
it
by
at
Trump saying,
92.
it feels like it's correct. So
Kickstand sold at 92. A News bought at 93. Car buys. Bob sells at 93. Domer sells at 93. This is a mess. This is a mess. Oh goodness. Is it time for Calcionomics to come back and we see what people are thinking?
It might just be.
Okay,
Would you guys agree
so
that he's basically dead or not? Like he's not going to die for the rest of today? Because I think it ends like midnight Eastern time, right?
I could see that. So
So we have another 10
what do
hours
you
or so.
do? What do you do with that? Do you buy one and not the other? Like, do you buy? Are we arbing some sort of strike here? Because I mean, February 28th is lower than March. Yeah, obviously. And if by the grace of by the grace of God, he is alive, what happens to him? Does he is he going to be able to stick it out another month? What would happen, Ivan?
well, they will get him. But I'm pretty confident he's dead. I mean, I have
89,
yes.
90 now, back to 90.
I bought yes in the low 90s. So here for once, I'm actually doing what I said I would do.
Outcome says it's 4 dough all over again. Yeah, it feels like that where it pumps up and then gradually comes down until someone steps in. It's who do we believe now? I mean, what are the incentives of either side to give false info? Iran has more incentive to say he's alive, right? Or is it, or does Israel and US have more incentive to say he's dead? I figure he's based on what's come out, he's dead. The US wouldn't
Pretty
say
sure with
Israel wouldn't say
the
he's dead
next
if he
few hours,
wasn't.
we actually have visual confirmation, in my opinion. I think the Israelis will drop it, and then people will still dispute it because, like, they'll say, like AI. Because nowadays, I mean, no one believes anything anymore. So
Yeah.
you can
Well,
adjudicate
we
it.
disputed until the Iranians admit it, right?
The Iranians have to admit it, or a photo,
Yeah,
or the
okay, but
photo has to be published that Trump has.
well, they can technically never admit it. Like what? It's a war, and the leader is in hiding. So as long as the war goes on, and even after that, he can be in hiding. I mean, he can be in hiding for for God knows how long.
Yeah.
And they probably have a couple of cans. So
This is a mess. So where do we move from here? I mean, U.S. official confirms to Fox that U.S. believes Khamenei and 5 to 10 top Iranian leaders killed in initial Israeli strike. Israeli strike, not even the U.S. one. So maybe that was this forcibly removed. Will U.S. do it? No, because it was Israel. The people that make all the decisions, most of them are gone. Jesus, man. Are you guys positioned in these markets? I know I have no, but now I have no from a month ago. I haven't bought anything since.
I bought back into yes at low 90. Like I have yes now.
Okay. And Scott, you don't think buying yes here at 90 is a good idea?
I'm not
91,
messing
not the
with it. If
worst.
anything, I would take a small flyer on no, just like a lottery ticket, but I wouldn't buy yes in the mid 90s. Maybe in the low 90s, like Ivan did with a small amount,
Mhm.
I could see some justification for that, but still, I mean, again, Israeli and US intelligence agencies are incentivized to exaggerate it so that they foment a popular uprising in Iran,
Yep.
and the Iranians are somewhat disincentivized for the Iranian clergy and the mullahs and all that are disincentivized for that very same reason. So I would look at, maybe impartial observers or less, like if some of the European countries start saying that he's dead, that could be some signal.
Impartial Europeans
Or
are
impartial. I mean, it's all
neither
relative, right?
impartial nor competent. So they will. The problem is, like who has the info? Only the Iranians and the Israelis. So, and
Okay.
one will say one thing and the other will say the other thing, and then at some point, I'm very confident Israel will rather soon release like visual confirmation, and that will get disputed. And until he can only be confirmed alive if he actually came out visually, because even audio doesn't work, but visually he came out somewhere where he can visually confirm that the guy is alive and it's like the current date, right? Um, Other than
Sorry to
that, I mean,
interrupt.
he was
Also a
supposed.
Just
spiritual leader.
Yeah, just give me 1 sec. We're just gonna have to take a break because the connection we have is not the greatest. So just give me 1 second and we'll be back. All right, I think we are back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. No, just a choppy connection, but we are back and talking about what is going on in the Khamenei market because there is FUD, just like there always is on a poly market. Couldn't expect it any other way, right? Couldn't have a poly market without a UMA dispute. Just doesn't go together,
No,
especially Middle
no
East.
doubt. I
So
was
at
starting to say that
93, yeah, go ahead.
because he is, for some people in Iran's kind of a spiritual leader, that the Iranians might actually fess up, but I wouldn't expect them to do it immediately. Might take a day or two or a week or goodness knows. Um, if you can always look at the example of what happened with Nasrallah, where the Hezbollah fessed up pretty quickly. Who knows how that would play out in Iran?
Mhm. Yeah, 92 and a half. Ivan, what's your plan with the shares you got at 90?
No, I bought 93.
Oh,
Nothing.
you
Hold
bought
it and
93. Oh,
hold,
goodness.
hold it until it gets proposed, and then I don't know. I guess at 98 or so, I'll sell because it will take at least a week to get results. Probably longer.
And so what is the rationale now that he is dead? Is it because of what Israel media reported? I guess Axios also reports it, but they just say Israel said it. The picture. I guess it's a combination of all of this info.
Israeli intelligence plus Bibi saw it plus Trump saw it. Trump said he feels that is correct. So I guess he saw the pictures, but he doesn't want to, because it's not them, because he has like a second-hand source. He hears it from the Israelis, and the Israelis hear it from someone in Iran. So, it goes around two corners. So he doesn't, he's not comfortable enough with that one. He can lie about the things he can control, but not about the things he can't control. So yeah, but I'm confident enough that that's correct.
Amazing. Someone in the comments said Judy's at 94. I wonder which market is it, Poly? Yeah, 94.6 on Polymarket now. Oh goodness. How red is the portfolio there? Guess all of
Don't
us
ask.
have yeah, okay. All of us have shares of that, right?
90% of my portfolio is on Warsh Yes or Shell and No at the time. But I was just looking at the formally nominated date, and it looks like we got 71% for the end of March. So hopefully next few weeks or so.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So what other markets do we look at here? The nuclear deal that someone had asked about. What is the path to a nuclear deal now? Who's our expert? Ivan, what's our path?
Not sure there is one. Don't really see it. Like what I was getting at is whether so with nuclear, one thing that you have to understand for Iran, nuclear is a thing of, and for the Islamic Republic specifically, this is a matter of national identity and national pride. So they will not give up nuclear for for shits and giggles. This is a part of who they are as a nation. This is a part of their sovereignty. And if Trump, that was actually very telling yesterday when he said that, and I went to bed with that thought and thought maybe today I'll buy some hedges, but it was too late. When he said that, oh, you don't need enrichment when you have so much oil. He doesn't get that. Like for him, it's like, oh, you have so much energy. Why do you need like nuclear power plants? I mean, I guess you can have one, right? But like you don't need any more. But for the Iranians, it's something different. This is like with China, right? Like why do you need the small island when you have all this land mass? But for China, this is part of China, and for Iran, nuclear is a part of who they are. This is what they achieved as a civilization, and that's why I think the next one, or it doesn't matter really who it is. I think all of the leadership, and I would even go as far as saying, like, if it's a non-clerical leadership, they would still not renounce enrichment. I haven't read up that deep, but they will not announce enrichment. And anyway, in my opinion, there will be nothing to negotiate because the Americans, they will bomb everything to the ground now. So what are the Iranians supposed to negotiate after that? Like when they bomb all these facilities they have, what's left to negotiate? What kind of nuclear deal are we talking about? There is nothing left, right? Then they can negotiate the missiles, but it's also a red line. And anyway, like they are also diminishing those capabilities. So I guess if I'm around, I'm just like soaking it up.
But if you kill all the IRGC people, the people who are left are the more normal folk, no? That would be willing to stop.
But a deal of what? What is the deal about? Like for Trump, this is again, like to me, it's I kind of knew it, but I was just trying to play it too cute, and it dawned too late on me that he's just not willing to go through all of this. For him, he's completely fine actually, and he's saying now openly, like this will set them back 10 years, and in 10 years Trump is dead anyway. And then someone else, he will take the lesson, or she, probably he, will take the lesson that, what Trump did now, if it goes, he can, like he says, he can declare victory after 5 or 10 days. He killed the guy, or Israelis did it, but whatever. Trump gets to announce it. They bombed all the nuclear facilities. They bombed a lot of the missile capabilities. So now Iran can, pick up the pieces for whatever, 10 years. And if they need to, in 10 years, they will do it again. They will just mow the lawn. This is their new strategy. Why would you go through like diplomacy and, like inspectors and checking, and the Iranians lie anyway, so we can't believe them. He doesn't have the patience for that. And if they take little to no casualties, then the people will be like, okay, well, this was not so bad. Like this went kind of okay.
Yeah.
Maybe inflation ideally doesn't pick up either. This is actually not too bad. Like we can do these kind of like regime change attempts. If the regime doesn't change, I mean, well, that's fine. So he will declare victory, and the people will see it as like maybe not victory, but yeah, okay, this wasn't too bad. So if you're Iran, what do you want to negotiate at that point? Like, what kind of deal do you want to make? You have nothing left, right? So you can only accept capitulation. Well, the moment to do that was before they started bombing them. So in my opinion, like deal doesn't. I was thinking about this. I would say it's a bond, but I don't know what's left to deal at this point.
Yep, that's fair. Go ahead, Scott or Aaron, if you had an opinion on this, we can talk about it. No,
I don't,
I
I
think
don't
you
have
said it well.
enough insight into this.
No, you said it. You said it well, Ivan. I think at
Yeah.
77, it might not be a bond, but at 77, something that the path is not there. I mean, does Iran want a deal? Does US care for a deal? I think neither, right? So it would make sense to be here on no. This longer strikes are cheaper, but if it's not in the cards anymore, if no one really cares about it because it's not necessary to get if it's not necessary for Trump to get because he's already accomplished what he wanted. You were talking about the deliverable was Khamenei's head. Then a deal is not coming up, right?
Yeah. So I guess we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe there's something that I
Yeah.
don't see. Anyway, like what he's going to do, he announced it already, he will give them a pause every few days and ask them, like, you want to talk? And maybe they go back to talking. But I would be curious actually to see, but then what is there to talk about? Because what the Americans asked them for is like decommission or rather deconstruct your 3 plans. And the Iranians said, well, you're crazy. We're not going to do that. And now they're going to bomb these 3 plants. Okay, but then what? Like, we can't even enrich, right? Maybe they probably will still have this enriched uranium. I guess they can negotiate about that maybe, but I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm surprised the market is still that high. I might buy no.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Let's go back to the Canadian market because I think we're at 90 now for February 28th. 89. Okay. And I want to look at these top holders because I didn't realize 50 pence is going all in. 700,000 shares. I think, what did he say? He has $2 million overall. Is that right? He just said this in TMB that he has $2 million across strikes, maybe somewhere else. I don't see it. I see 700K on February. But that's wild, if true. Maybe other accounts.
He needs to
but
hire
$2
my
million on your risk guy.
Yeah, he needs to hire my risk guy. That's just too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Decaf. So there's all these people. Flip 250. A News 350. Erasmus 400. My goodness. It looks like the even Kickstand is on yes here. I'm not yet. I guess I can dump my nose if it's even Domer. This is a squad side now, right? I don't know. Even Ivan is on it. Scott, I might leave you and join the yes side here.
Hey, might be the thing to do.
Anowin
Might even convince me.
was the one that got really screwed over this night, eh? This was just
Mamma
completely Mamma
6
mia.
million. Crazy.
But we don't know who that is, right? We have no clue who they are. We just know that they were in our space.
Oh, was he
in our
really?
circles.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere
I thought
somewhere in our
Crazy.
circles. No,
Yeah.
somewhere in our circles because their positions on non-war stuff too mimics like a smart person, So they must be some sort of sharp. Now they're ignoring Iran and going to Somalia and Venezuela markets after trying to cleanse themselves of that loss. Okay, so yes seems like the right side here. And I mean, yeah, yes feels like a good side. 89, a man that is dead and has been confirmed by non-bias. We just said how everyone's biased. But I wouldn't trust the Iran state media, right? I
I
would
mean,
trust the
like
Israeli and US news sources more.
Right.
what I also mentioned in the Discord. I'm surprised no one has proposed this yet, because it says that the rules is removed from power for any length of time. Obviously, okay, Iran is disputing that, but he's considered to be removed from power if he's prevented from fulfilling his duties, and the primary resolution source is a consensus of credible reporting. Now, who's more credible, like Israeli intelligence or Iranian media? So
And
I'm
there's also
surprised no one.
consensus, right? If there isn't a consensus, and what does consensus mean? We argue about that with Ukraine suit, the Zelensky suit market with Fordo. We argue about that all the time, right?
I mean, it's the Western side, so the Western side will always take a consensus from Western sources. So,
100,000 share bid at 89.9. At one
uh,
point, we need to get in on this. I think I'm after the stream. I'll get. Oh, okay. It's flipping back and forth, but I'll probably get in on yes here. And it is a good time to mention Stand, who is our stream sponsor. Pardon me for just a minute, guys, because this stream, our Hive Mind stream, is presented by Stand, prediction market aggregator for Kalshi and Polymarket, where you can trade both of those on Stand, discovering trends, tracking traders, getting whale alerts. And again, I always mention this. My favorite is trading 8 markets at once via the Octobox. They all resolved now, as you can see. I had it laid out ready for us to talk about, but all of these markets resolved because US did strike Iran. Octobox is one of my favorite things, and now, and we'll do a live demo here as well, counter trading and copy trading, but counter trading where 70% of prediction market traders have a negative P&L. Stand lets you profit off of that, where you can copy the best traders, counter the worst, and automate everything. So if I were to show you here, if we want to tail Scotty, who is our big winner, we can go copy him. I have $1,000 in this account, so not as big as him, but I'll go 5% of his bets I want to copy, and it's going to only be the geopolitics. So I'll include only geopolitics. There's a lot of other advanced settings here, so I don't want to be more than $500 on a market, and I can just start copying like that. So now we're going to be copying Scotty. Maybe next week we'll find out if it's a winning strategy.
This Scotty was 50 pence, right? It's not
50
me,
pence,
Scotty.
50 pence. No, not you.
Yeah.
Actually, for you, have you lost this week or have you won? Because I might fade you.
Goes up a little
I
bit.
can counter trade Scottalicious.
There you go.
I'll counter trade Ivan, that's for sure. If you tell us what your wallet is, I'd counter trade you.
Well, just do what I say, not do what I do, because what I said was all correct. What I did was all wrong.
Tough, but yeah, I could counter Scottalicious, and I could tail Scotty, which is 50 pence. So it's not blind copy trading. I can select what categories and what my budget is. And the best part about Stand copy trading is it's zero fees. I know the other platforms that allow you to copy trade have fees. It's free on Stand, 100% free, zero copy trading fees on Stand, and that's why Hive is sponsored by Stand. That's why we partner with them, and I know we'll see what these positions end up resolving in. If we make money fading Scotty Licious, and we make money tailing 50 pence, we'll see. If he loses 2 million, then I don't know how much we have left to tail. But yeah, so that's my opinion on Stand. Obviously, we love him. 91 cents. Any final thoughts here before we wrap up?
Let's hope it goes right.
We'll hope it goes right.
Aaron,
did you want to?
Profitable... Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, a lot of the really profitable guys take both sides, and they somehow play the volatility, and they hook things up to their machines or whatever. I'm not really good at that, but that's what some people do.
Did A News just buy another 100,000 shares?
500,000 shares in almost
100,000 shares at 93 minutes ago. Okay, maybe I'll copy trade A News. I mean, what did he do? He lost on this probably, right? Yeah, he lost, but now he's back up. This is interesting. There's a lot of volatility to trade here, and I guess that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple hours. Uh-oh, did we just lose him? Uh-oh, we lost someone. We've been back. Oh, what did I do? Oh, this was me. My bad. What happened? One sec. But yeah, we will wrap up right now anyways. So there we go. All right, we're back. Yeah, guys, so that's everything from me. Let me stream got kind of screwed up here, but yeah. Thank you guys for joining. We hit the hour mark, so this was really good. Amazing stream as always. We'll be back, me and Ivan, next week probably. And Aaron, I want to highlight Calynomics, do a stream with you to explain how we can use it better and use it properly, because this Kalshi, looking at Kalshi especially, is a spectacular way to view these markets. So thank you for that. And Scottalicious, thank you for joining today. And we'll be back maybe Tuesday to talk about. We have a big market coming up with Texas Dem primary, right? And Republican primary as well. So we'll be on for that.
Coming up.
Yes. All right,
Be on the
guys.
lookout
Thank
for
you.
it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you guys
Cheers.
soon.
You guys, bye bye.